Top good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku Was Bane's Brother? And in this What If timeline, Bane, we all know him from Batman. He's like basically an evil dude and like does evil stuff, but occasionally he does help Batman occasionally. So in this What If, I wanted to take a story that's based on him, or like takes a good part of him and just basically make him the only good version. So basically, yeah, he cares about his brother and, yeah, in this timeline. So, and Zuko is a powerhouse, basically. He has the powers of infinity and zero. That makes him a powerhouse. But because he is so powerful that even, yeah, and his will is a lot more unique and different from an average humans. Yeah. So I did try to like make an animation for like the what Zuko would or monster form look like. But I'll use one of my old concept art. What it means is basically the not that one. That one? No. No. So the concept is that he had. Oh, here it is, right here, and that over here. So they, yeah. So let's begin. So, yeah. Zuko and Bane were born. Or actually, there's three people. Zuko, Bane, and Zumi were born. And so Bane is more of a protective person in this What If. So if anyone talks smack about his brother or his sister, he will end up like throwing them around like little rag dolls. Yeah, teaching them a lesson. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the What If. So, so I'm also adding a new character. Her called. Let me. Oh, here she is. This one, Rhea. So Rhea is a basically girl that has similar. So is similar to her, but she basically was the yeah. She basically loves Bane when they first met. That was about all of them, like Bane, Zuko, and Zumi, were 3 years old. Or actually, Bane was the oldest, he was 4 when he got his quirk. Zumi was, as the second oldest, she got fire manipulation, opposite to Bane, because Bane's quirk is actually called Flaming Venom. It's a fiery version of Bane's typical, like, basically Venom serum. But it's a flaming version. So if he's near fire or, like, anything that's hot, like a human body, heat of his own body, can make him stronger than any normal person. Like, his own body heat can raise his basically strength level to, like, surpassing even the universe. That's how powerful. Yeah. And it doesn't increase his size until, like, because he actually, yeah. So, he has a strength enhanced quirk version of the flame. And Zumi is the second oldest, and she gets fire manipulation. And then the third was actually Zuko, the youngest. So when he went to the quirk doctor, the quirk doctor tells him that he's quirkless. As his parents were gonna abandon him, as Bane, or as Inko loves him, but before they abandon him, or let's say one day the Zuko was coming home by himself, because Bane and the Zumi were being show-offs and, like, showing off their quirks. But Zuko was born with such a power that even no one expected. So the villain, All for One, kidnapped him. And basically, Zuko, All for One tells Zuko that he'll be the greatest warrior, or he'll be the greatest person to destroy All Might. But you'll not remember it. After, as Zuko's memories were wiped clean, so he doesn't know who he is or what he does. So when Zuko was now basically named Ultimate Destroyer, because they were gonna name him an Ultimate Bane, but that's his brother's name. So they chose Ultimate Destroyer. So he just, because what they did to him next was memorable. basically they pumped him, like like basically put, you know how, like, spoilers if you haven't seen the My Hero Academia, spoilers ahead, about the Quirk Doctor puts the tube right on to Shiraki Sins' chest. Well, Zuko was going through a same thing. But instead of inheriting All for One's quirk, he basically gained the every quirk imaginable. Like pumping his chest or his entire body full of the, as Zuko's body starts to morph, or his heart starts racing. And so the quirks, every quirk was now inside Zuko's body, making him stronger than before. Also, yeah. So Zuko, when All for One, and also, let's say the Quark Doctor used, or he created his own serum of venom serum that is basically to turn poor Zuko into similar, as his body starts to, as he transforms into a monster. Basically, my original script was for the character to have 4 arms, but I'm gonna have 6 arms and 3 heads. Yeah, like that one. But Zuko, who his monstrous form, as they trained him to calm down, as he calms down into his human form. And All for One looks at Zuko and says, "You're perfect. You're so perfect, Zuko. Now it is time." So now we switch over to Bane and Zumi. And so they feel bad that they left Zuko behind in the dust. And so then Asashi says, "Good riddance," as Bane just grabs him by the throat and lifts him up. How would you say that? I know he's quirkless, but he's still part of this family. As Bane, as Zumi and Inko try to calm him down. I know, but Zuko, who's quirkless, we don't need quirkless in our lives. It's like asking a weakling to join something strong, but in the end, they'll be dead. So then yeah. So, but Zuko, yeah. So then, but there's quirkless that are weaklings in this story, or in this universe thing. There's quirks that are stronger than the basically quirkless, But then there's powers that are stronger than quirks and quirkless. Like, they can... But the Zuko, because how much quirks that they put into him, the... He... As Zuko's true memories, first of all, Zuko's powers actually, like, basically took away his original memories and added copy ones to be replaced. And so, yeah. But because how powerful Zuko is the giving him, like, quirks is ridiculous. It's a stupid idea. So, yeah. We should tell that to All for One when he... Yeah. So when Zumi... So they all, like, miss him. They thought he was dead, but then... Yeah. So... But then... Zuko ends up... So, a time skip to 15. So... Bane is at age of 15. Zumi's at 15. And both of them are similar. And Zuko would be the same age, but he's younger version. Or he's younger. So then all three of them all three of them share different birthdays. Like one represents the other one. So yeah. So then so Bane and Zumi goes to UA, and Zumi actually got asked out by Bakugo. Oh, because Bakugo has a humongous crush on Zumi, and he doesn't want her to be with any other guy. Bane gets and Ray, Ray. That's this girl, and she loves him so much. But So then, Ochako is jealous of the Ray and Zumi because, but she doesn't know about Zuko's. No, because they have met before. Her, and at age of 4, like before her, and she just like straight up dumped him because she thinks that Bane and Bakugo are more cuter than Zuko. So yeah. But when they both got taken by two separate girls, Zuko has nothing left. Or Ochako has nothing left. So, Yeah. So then at USJ, Zuko was basically a Nomu that was designed to kill All Might. His hair did change colors, and his extra, arms went back into his body because, yeah. But he turns into more of a powerhouse. So this is what he looks like when he went to USJ with all the villains. And Bane saw who it was. And Zumi, they can't believe it. Is that Zuko? Ultimate Destroyer as Zuko comes in, as he beats around Mr. Aizawa before he even got to the villains. And now, as Bane, or 13's about to, give the command of, everyone out of the building. As before, so Zuko, or Destroyer Zuko, breaks sends 13 down on the ground. And do you see this black, and purple, basically power? 13's quirk has been absorbed from it. So now 13 is now quirkless. Yes. Be careful, as Shiraki-sen says. His left hand and has a special power, or should I say, or you probably would recognize it as the only person that knows what power it is Mr. Aizawa. As Mr. Aizawa was like, oh crud, stay away from him, as Razorhead commanded. He has a power of 0. If he touches you, you're quirkless. You'll become quirkless. All the power that you have in no matter how powerful you are, once you get touched by it, then your entire existence, your entire power, quirk or powers that you were born with, is now erased from it. And you figured it out, didn't you, Mr. Aizawa, or Racerhead? And because that boy, or that destroyer guy, is actually, he was born with a rare power, much more powerful than any kid in the entire universe. Anyone can even stand up to his level, because he has the power of 0 and infinity. Show them infinity. as he puts his hand down on the as he teleports back before, as he puts his hand down on the USJ's floor, as any like surrounding areas like became monsters, as they all just were, as he commanded them to attack, as all of them, every single one of them were coming in and beating the snot out of the students, as 13 couldn't believe that someone took away her quirk, or her, that 13's quirk. And so Bane has to go knock some sense into his brother as he jumps down. He does beat all the villains and runs right up to, as he's about to like hit him in the face, but his basically something like his entire like movement of his power, Izuku dodged the attack by simply just stepping aside because how slow motion it was. As Bane's like, wait, what? Yeah, all that stuff. So, yeah. Like, you know how that guy, like, basically dodges the attacks? Yeah. It's like that. But without any repercussion stuff. Or, I don't know how to say it properly. So, yeah. So, Suzuku, who, instead of taking his own brother's power, he ends up kicking him in the back, sending him flying forward. As he's like, huh. Now. So then Shiraki-sen says now he's... As he did one time when Shiraki-sen like was training with Zuko, who named the Zuko's power of 0 took away Shiraki-sen's quirk. But so then after ESJ, so All Might did show up before, and then as 13 looks up at All Might and tells him that, be careful of that boy, him, or that villain over there. He has the powers of 0 and infinity. As got it. He will take away the powers like he did with mine. As 13 looks at her, or his. I'm calling it her, or calling 13 a her, so, yeah. So, she looks at her hand and sees that her hand is, she now is no longer able to use her quirk, so she couldn't become a pro. She is no longer a pro hero. As so then after that, the Zuko did get shot in the legs, like in the kneecaps, but they regenerate back faster than. As everybody's like, oh crud. As Zuko says, as Bane didn't notice that Zuko's been. He doesn't even recognize himself. Like, basically, Bane realizes that Zuko didn't recognize Bane because they took away his memories of it. So, then, during the 2 weeks, he did ask Mr. Ozawa he did ask All Might to, if it's okay with you. I need to blow off some steam as he can't believe. So he walks into, a gym part where they had, punching bags and lifts, weights. As he's punching bags with enough force that could kill an elephant. As he can't believe his own brother didn't recognize him. And so then the time skip to who All Might versus All for One, because I am skipping the sports festival and the internship, but because of one reason. Before the sports festival, Zuko did run into Hero Killer Stain. And you know what he did? He killed him. Straight up takes away his powers and killed him right then and there. So Tenya's brother is now safe. And nobody, So now Zuko has so many quirks inside of him that even blood and neutralize basically whatever Hero Killer Scene had. I kind of forgot what it was, so I'm gonna look up Hero. My Hero Academia Hero. No, it's Stain. S-T-A. Yeah. No. So, Blood Conjurer. Family. Quarkless. Yeah. So, this Blood Curdly is basically. Oh, sorry for that glitchy. Yes, and
Blood Curdle. Blood Curdle.
Blood Curdle. So yeah. So Zuko has now added Blood Curdle with 13's black hole into his body. But he doesn't have to use it because he doesn't need to. So the so now Zuko. So yeah. So now Tenya's brother is safe, and Tenya doesn't have to get angry and all that stuff. But Zuko's. So then a time skip to now present day of All for One versus All Might. And they did capture Bakugo because, yeah. And the Ragdoll because 13 or Mr. is or no, All for One and can't decide of. So when Zuko actually did something that nobody else could ever do. He did take away the search quirk and replaced a copied version into her body so that to make it look like so so the Razorhead so All for One steals Ragdoll's thing, her quirk, and Zuko was pretty ticked off, but that's only, yeah. So then, but Bane is more ticked off because the villains took his brother away. And Zumi is ticked off at at the same time. So they both train super hard, like super hard. Like they're punching like punching bags. Basically, they're letting their steam out. So when they heard that Bakugo was got captured, that even pushed them to the breaking point. But All for One had a backup plan. He had a nuclear bomb nearby, hooked up to the trigger of the inside of Zuko's pocket. So if he, yeah, but yeah. So now, All for One versus All Might. All Might was down because he was battling not against All for One. He also has to battle against Zuko Midoriya. But before he even got a chance to break All Might's back, Zuko secretly took off the collar, the obedience collar, off of him. And so then now his original memories came back to him as instead of breaking All Might's back, he just sets him down. What are you doing? I command you to kill him. Huh. You don't know me that well, don't you, All for One? I'm Zuko Midoriya. Now, as he grabs All for One, you know where the nuclear bomb is. As he runs with... And he did make a portal and grabs a nuclear bomb and straps All for One to it. As everybody's eyes widen, including Bane. This is your backup plan. In order to, for me to pull the trigger so that if you did lose, then you'll take the entire your city with you. Am I wrong? So, as he lifts the tire thing, and Zuko actually did like use basically the building, because like he picks up a building to whack All Might, but somehow All Might dodged the attack and ends up hitting All for One. As you idiot, as All for One says, you were supposed to hit All Might, but he dodged. Yeah, and then all that stuff. So then, yeah, that's what All for One says. But then, now Zuko got himself back in order. He grabs All for One, straps him to a nuclear bomb, and Zuko says, "It's good to see you again, brother. It's time for me to end this once and for all." As Zuko picks up the nuclear bomb that had All for One strapped to it, and so he did pull out, or his extra tendril, or like his extra arm pulls out the trigger before, like the detonation. And so his lower half turns into fire as he launches himself like a cannon into the outer space as he pulls the trigger, and kaboom! Explosion. The Bakugo, Zumi, Inko, Isashi, Bane, and everybody that knew Zuko, who was the Zuko was dead. They thought he was dead. But because of his power of infinity and zero, he survived. All for One just died. As Zuko falls back to planet. As he lands as he gets himself up. Like, that was a hard landing. As he just wipes his head. Now, he landed from, like, space all the way back to Earth. In about, So when he came back to Japan, they had memorials and all that stuff. So the time skipped. So Zuko did change his hair color from green to black. Instead of the green to purple. Oh, and because he used his own power of infinity to make him look like this guy. So, but he did show up to the hospital or actually he saw 13. Hey, 13. Zuko wanted me to give, or actually that dead kid wanted to give you something. As 13 says, me? As she knows the him. As Zuko used his own power, he wanted to be here to give you this power. As they see, or to give you back this quirk. Because he didn't really need it. As he gives it back to Pro Hero 13. And so now she's back to her original self. As she still now can control it. And she's glad that she got her powers back. So then he meets Ragdoll at a grocery store. Or actually, he says her, identity, secret identity thing. Zuko, who wanted me to give you something back. I know that all for one, but you don't remember, but all for one took your quirk away. As he gives it back to her, but in truth, he actually swapped it for a fake version. And this is a real version. As he gives it to her, on the shoulder. And she is now not quirkless anymore. And she's happy about it. As she's known, as she can't believe her own self, or she can't believe this guy, and he gave back her quirk. So then, yeah. So then the time skip to All Might versus All for One. Or no, I meant Overhaul versus Zuko, or Zumi, and Bane. As Bane was busy with battling against other people, but somehow Zuko, Azumi, was about to get killed, and Bane isn't fast enough, but then out of nowhere, this guy shows up. As he grabs Overhaul's monstrous hand, and he says, "Don't touch my little sister." And she's already been taken. As he tosses Overhaul around. "Who are you?" You don't recognize from my appearance. As he shows his real form, or his original form, that I'm Zuko Midoriya, your youngest brother, remember? As Zumi and Bane saw that, and they had tears coming down their face. Now, let's finish this, shall we? Yeah. As Zuko used his power of zero, and he touched Overhaul's throat thing, and he splitted the Overhaul back into the four monsters, or no, back into, I don't remember how many. Let's say 5, included All for One, or Overhaul, sorry. But they're now quirkless. As Zuko says, Yeah. I don't need it. But, hey. As that's okay. As Zucker says, my little, as it was over, as he says, Azumi runs up and hugs him. But she's also blushing because when hasn't told Baku, or no, she hasn't told her own younger brother or her older brother that they were, or that she was dating Bakugo. But Zuko knew. Oh, as how did you know that I was dating Kasuke Bakugo, our friend? Every time he looks at you, or you look at him, both of you two are like having blush faces out in public. Plus, when I did a search or when I used a search quirk on to like see what it was, but I'm happy for you, Zumi. So, yeah. As Zuko was smiling at her, as Zumi's like, you jerk. You knew everything about us. So, yeah. So then, but it's good to see you. As Bane walks over and hugs him so tightly, as he's like, good to see you too. Oh, brother. Yeah. As Zuko was he's glad that Zuko is basically is there right hate there? So, yeah. So then the whole get together and yeah. So actually, Principal Nezu, when they heard that Zuko was still alive, he recruited him as basically a pro hero in an instant, because he was a pro hero before. So, like, what I mean is that whoever has the powers, because Zuko actually has so much power and quirks, he has the immediately, like, basically instant becomes pro hero. So, like, basically Zuko and Zumi and, like, the rest of them had to go through, like, school and all that stuff. Well, with Zuko, he immediately became a pro hero because, yeah, because being super overpowered, like having powers that are broken, gives you instant access to or become whatever you want. Instantly. Like, you want to become a pro hero? Boom! If you want to become a villain? Boom! But Zuko chose to be a hero, as he knew and plus they have seen his powers before, but it's still shocking when he Yeah. So then the, yeah. So then the, yeah. And he did, so all the quirks that were shoved into him through his chest thing by the quirk doctor were all just now completely gone. Like it got absorbed to create a new power called Metaverse. So now he's not just a ordinary kid that has like powers of infinity and zero. No, he has. So he's now a official pro hero that everyone really relies on. He's also a number one in symbol of peace. That makes All Might go down to 2, and then Endeavor is number 3 hero, pro hero. As who would top that off? As when Todoroki heard that Endeavor got bumped down to 3rd place, and he's like, oh, gosh dang. So then Ochako, or when Zuko came to UA, she sees, or when Ochako saw Zuko at UA, Zuko, who was actually her love interest, actually. She was too embarrassed to say it in front of him. So what does she do? She basically went into her bedroom. She locked the doors, closed the blinds and all that stuff. And she told Zuko that she was in love with him. It was too embarrassed to say it out in public. So, because she secretly admitted that. Because she didn't care if he was quirkless. It was, so like, so she was pretending to be like, oh, dumb you, and like all that stuff. She was pretending to dump him, but then in reality she accepted him. Because she was too nervous to say it out in public. So then but the government is like, if this kid is so powerful, we need to take extreme measures. Like, if he ever became a villain, we need some backup plan to, like, for him to do it. As one of the people says to him, he won't actually. What do you mean? Because I asked him, if you ever became a villain, what would you do? If I ever became a villain? Make sure you use like something, like a cannon on me, first of all, that has the positive and negative effects on it. Like a laser or something. To cancel both of my powers. Or it will stop me from using them. But in exchange, for if that, yeah. But there is one that I can never. But why do you ask that? As he says, as he looks at her dead in the face with a straight face. Well, if you use your powers for like evil, like if you gone berserk one day, what would you do? As he says, well, first, actually, I already went down that path once in an alternate timeline, as he tells her with a straight face. The alternate version of me, his name is called Doomsday Zuko. But for short, and name is Doomsday. That's what his name is. And man, I felt bad for the rest of you in that universe. What do you mean? Doomsday Zuko, he used to be the same age as what I was at age of 4 before. And then the bunch of, when the quirk doctor says, and, oh, you're a quirkless kid. But then he, yeah, then he explained everything to her, and she's like, gosh dang. It is all the alternate versions are like that. Most of them are just like, kind of like me. They're more of laid back and to see how things are going. Some are just like, come on, let's take over the world. Kind. So, but I'm not that. So all of you are safe. Plus, there's one thing that's actually holding me back from killing all the villains. Are actually 2 people. And that would be Bane and Zumi. I'm saying Bane, like in Bane, the one that... Hold on, hurry. Yeah. So, and Zumi are the only ones that I truly care about. So, as the person that he's talking to is basically a not principal. She's a boss of the Project Heroes. And she asked him, can I see how many alternate versions? There's a lot, but it's a lot to take in. Normally it's just, yeah, I will. Okay? As he used his right hand because... So then when he used his power on her, not like shooting a laser kind, but just enough to like... She sees every endless possibility. But one that stands out the most was between 2 alternate universes. One was, what if Deku became Bane? And what if Deku was Doomsday, one shot? I might have them in the links, but if you don't see it in the links or the description, just type up what if Deku became Bane and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, now, and so now this is the Yeah. So after that, Ochako and Zuko did get married. So that makes him the youngest, third and final youngest one to get, or third kid to get married and had a lot of kids things. So then yeah. So one of you guys on YouTube, on here, recommended me to create a what if Deku had Superman's powers. Do you mean Kryptonian powers? Because Superman is a Kryptonian and I will do it. I'm just asking. So now please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment, and do all that stuff. Hold on just 1 minute and there we go. Now, perfect. And the reason why I'm doing these super long videos is because I don't want to break it up into like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes. Because I did that with General Grievous. Like, what if? Like, basically, what if Deku was General Grievous and made the entire army one? I might redo it, but with, like, a little bit more with some other characters. Like, what if Deku was Bruce Wayne, Batman, and had a golden army or something like that? I don't know, but please keep suggesting new what ifs. And unless you're Randy and just recommended like some stupid powers like make pizza or make Zuko who have powers of pizza. That would not work. So peace out.